Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chota and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. I want you to know that you are greatly appreciated. I appreciate you being a viewer, I appreciate you being a subscriber. In this video, I'll tell you when you can expect the direct stimulus check, when you can expect the economic impact payment, the $600 payment. I know for a lot of our viewers and subscribers, it's about putting food on the table, it's about trying to make rent, it's about keeping the lights on. So I want to make sure you know when you can expect the money. And also, I just want to be clear this channel is for you. This channel, the Ignition Time channel, is about the country, it's about the economy, and it's about money. I'll also show you a calculator which will let you estimate the extent of the payments that you get. In other words, what will be the size of the economic impact payment, the $600 check. So let's go ahead and take a look right now. So on your screen, you'll see a tweet from Congressman Kevin Brady from the great state of Texas. And he essentially, told us when we can expect the second stimulus check. The IRS expects to start sending direct deposits before the end of the year, before 31st of December. So if your direct deposit information is on file, you should start to see the payments very soon. Now, paper checks and debit cards are expected between now and January 15th at 10 million per week. So in other words, 10 million individuals per week will start to get paper checks and debit cards. All payments should be done by the 15th of January. So they're going to get this money out pretty quickly, everybody. And if you don't get a payment or if you get the wrong amount of payment, then you can claim it on your 2020 tax return. This is everything you need to know. And essentially, if you file early and you file electronically, that's your best bet in this situation. So you can get this money in your hands directly or indirectly. So, pretty useful information there from Congressman Brady. Now, speaking of our lawmakers, Senator Rick Scott from Florida is simply not happy with this program and he's going to vote no. Yes, he's going to vote no. You'll see this tweet on your screen from Jake Sherman over at Politico, and Rick Scott, who's a member of Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's leadership team, is essentially suggesting that he's a no. In fact, you'll see his statement right here, everybody. Washington is broken. And Senator Rick Scott said earlier this afternoon, we were finally provided the text of the combined $1.4 trillion package. It is almost 5,600 pages long, and we expected to vote on it tonight. Who in their right minds thinks that this is a responsible way of governing? Rick Scott from Florida. This crisis has devastated American small businesses and American workers, and I support many of the COVID related provisions to boost small businesses, prevent layoffs, and enhance unemployment. Provisions that are necessary because of the recklessness of the Chinese Communist Party and the overzealousness and the overzealous shutdowns by politicians here in America who do not know what it is like to struggle for money or for work. I'm also glad this package does not include state bailouts, which I've been fighting for months, and makes reforms to the Federal Reserve, which provides further protections to ensure taxpayer dollars are not wasted. So let's see the rest of the statement from Senator Scott. But basically, I'll read the end of his statement. He says, "But in classic Washington style, vital programs are being attached to a spending bill that mortgages our children and grandchildren's futures without even giving members a chance to read it. We are not spending money we have in the bank or anticipate we will collect in taxes. Washington doesn't seem to understand that new spending today will be paid for by increasing federal debt and result in tax increases on families down the road. We have to stop operating this way. There is no excuse for the way Washington treats the American taxpayers. I've repeatedly voted against enormous and wasteful spending bills. The easy route is to simply go along as Congress continues to do harm to future generations of Americans, but I will not be part of it." Wow, some pretty strong comments. Let me know if you agree with Senator Scott's comments. Senator Rick Scott from Florida. Let me know if you agree with his comments. And speaking of statements, everybody, here's a statement from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on your screen. It's her official letter addressing this, and some pretty interesting things here. But I think the important thing is Speaker Pelosi basically implying that more work needs to be done. And she said, while we have recognized the urgent need, to do all of these things, we must also recognize that more needs to be done, according to Speaker Pelosi. Basically, Speaker Pelosi is highlighting the fact that more needs to be done. And, she said it is important to note that the GOP insisted on a tax break of $160 billion for the wealthiest of America in CARES. So, I'll provide you with a link to this announcement, to this press release from Speaker Pelosi, so you can check it out for yourself. And also, speaking of announcements, here's a Here's a very interesting calculator. And by the way, this full credit to the Washington Post for this calculator. So I'll provide you with a link to this calculator in the description section below. So if you're single and let's say, you make $75,000, you'll get a $600 stimulus payment. Let's say you're single and you make, let's just say, $85,000, then you get $100 stimulus payment. And if you're single and you make more than a certain amount, so let's say you put in $99,000, okay, then your income is going to be too high to receive a stimulus payment. So really, it depends on how much you make. Let's just put in $96,000 over here for those of you who, making $96,000. So as you can see, there's a threshold, and as you get closer and closer to the threshold, you're not likely to see a stimulus check. Let's get back to the $75,000. And yeah, I recommend that all of you folks play with this. Let's go to married, and let's say married making up to $150,000 a year. I'm doing this for you folks. You'll get $1,200 in stimulus payments. Now, if you have children, let's say you're married and you have 3 children, then you're going to get $3,000 because you'll get $600 per adult and you'll get $600 per child. And then you can use the same calculator for head of household as well. So hopefully this is beneficial. Also, everybody, here's a text. So this is the entire bill, everybody. It is a law. It is a big bill. It is 5,593 pages. Now you can see why Senator Rick Scott was hesitant to sign off on something that essentially does not have the opportunity to read. So that is it, everybody. Those are the latest things. Those are the latest updates on when you can expect the stimulus check, how much you can expect, some information about some senators who are opposed to it, and this is where we stand, everybody. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. You'll find a link to all of our resources in the description section below, so let me know what you think. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. I really appreciate you watching. If you don't know anything about me, please check out my video. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. That's 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. So please make sure you click like, you subscribe, you enable notifications. I would really appreciate that. Ignite the subscribe button, ignite that notification button, because the name of our channel is Ignition Time. I would really appreciate it if you take the time to do that. Now, keep in mind, the Ignition Time channel is about important matters pertaining to the country, important matters that in turn affect the economy, and by extension, matters that affect your money. We focus on the country, the economy, and the money. For me, it's not important whether you're pro-Trump or anti-Trump, you're pro-Biden or anti-Biden. For me, it's not about the red or the blue, it's about the red, white, and blue. We are not Democrats, we are not Republicans, we are Americans first, and that is the philosophy of our channel. I want you to know that you're greatly appreciated. If you want to get on our SMS alerts list, you can do so. You'll get breaking news and alerts. You'll get important information that will help you make more money, save more money, and invest money successfully. We'll notify you if we ever release any coaching programs. And if you want, you can opt out of the SMSs at any point in time that you want. To get on our SMS list, simply get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or the word time, either ignition or time, because the name of our channel is Ignition Time, and send that text message to 70,000. That's 70000. You'll get added to our SMS alerts list going forward. Now, if you want, you can also get added to our email list. Our email list, to get added to our email list, simply go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts. And at any point in time, you can opt out of the emails pretty much anytime you want. So no worries about that. Now, you can also follow us on Instagram. We release exclusive news and content specifically for our Instagram community. Simply follow us at ignition_time. That is our Instagram handle. So follow us on Instagram. Also, you can follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is also ignition_time, so make sure to follow us on Twitter. One of the things that I am personally very proud of is our community. Our community is very intelligent, it's bipartisan, it's respectful. We engage in healthy, respectful debates. So please feel free to comment below and engage in a healthy, respectful, fun debate with other members of our community. You might even make some new friends. We'll always include the link to all of our resources in the description section below. Again, you'll always find that so you can dig deeper into any of the content. Finally, please click like, Please subscribe, please enable notifications. That really, really, really helps out the YouTube algorithm, and that is your vote of confidence in us for all the effort that goes into these videos, all the effort that we put into the creation of the content, the professional video production quality, and the release of these videos in a consistent manner to give you the latest news, to give you news you can depend on. My philosophy is to share the truth with you wherever it might lead us. And also, all I ask is you please share this video with two friends, just two friends or family members. In fact, just click the share button below and share this video with two friends or family members. That would mean a lot to us. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.